Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Scream, and welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 for some more Destiny 2 news and Lightfall Season of the Witch. Still Festival of the Lost Intel, and today, once again, is Friday. So we have our Friday weekly update. XUR has returned, as well as Trials of Osiris. So I'm going to give you a brief rundown on those two things, as well as all the other farms, glitches, and cheeses that you can take advantage of heading into the weekend if you haven't had a chance to play it all this week. To start off, XUR can be found today in the tower hangar right behind me. So let's check out what he has. And if you enjoy this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And turn on the bell to post notifications so you never miss out on any future Destiny 2 Lightfall content like this. You can also follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box down below. Remember, any of those things also enter you to any future giveaways on this YouTube channel. And we do one every 1,000 subscribers. So you never want to miss out. And of course, if you stick around till the end of the video, I'll have that secret hashtag you can leave in the comments section to be entered into the next giveaway a second time for this video. And remember, those secret hashtags stack between all videos. So if you haven't done this on a previous piece of content on this channel, you can always go back, check out another video, and of course do it again. And when we reach 100,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel, we will be giving away an Xbox Series X. So as far as loot is concerned, we do have a prospector, though I never find myself really using it. We have a young Ahamkara's spine, better than the old Ahamkara's spine. Old joke. If you know who said it first, leave that in the comment section. I'll count it towards today's hashtag. But this one with a 67 roll, high mobility, high recovery, high strength, not terrible. We have the Peacekeepers with another 67 roll, actually a pretty decent one, I would say, for the Titan class with 28 recovery, almost as high as you'll ever see. Not bad on the discipline, intellect, and strength ends as well. And then we have a Winter's Gale with another pretty decent roll, 65, though the strength is kind of lost. 28 on resilience, can't go wrong. Don't really find myself using it that much, but this definitely was a broken exotic at one point, so you know what I say. Once a broken exotic, probably always a broken exotic, so you never know when this might come into play again and you get those damage glitches that let you, well, like solo Riven or something crazy. On to legendary weapons, we have a Firefright with Fragile Focus, Focused Fury, and Extrovert Deep Sight activation weapon. This is actually really good in PvP. Maybe not this particular role, but the Firefright overall and this archetype of auto rifle is very good in PvP at the moment. And I do actually really like the sights that this comes with. Let me just see what we have as far as scopes. We have Arrowhead Break, a Fluted Barrel. This one does have a range masterwork. So I would actually consider picking this up, especially with high caliber rounds. This is going to do really well in PvP. We have a Disparity, another Deep Sight activation weapon with Heating Up, One for All, and Ambush. We have the 7th Seraph Sidearm, also not terrible for PvP. This one with Dragonfly and Field Prep. We have the Sojourner's Tail. Sojourner, I say it incorrectly every single time. Tell me how to pronounce it in the comment section below. I'll also count that as a hashtag for today's video. But this one with Threat Detector and Killing Wind. We have an Outlast, Pulse Rifle with Outlaw, Snapshot Sight, and Disaster Plan, excuse me. I actually do really like this for PvP as well. Pulse Rifles seem to be in a fairly decent place. We have the 7th Seraph Saw machine gun with Field Prep and Elemental Capacitor. And then we have the Bump in the Night with Demolitionist, Frenzy, and Extrovert, another Deep Sight activation weapon here. So overall, a couple of decent PvP roles, but nothing really a standout for PvE, or really, I would say, above a 7 out of 10. We have the Opulent armor set for the legendary set this week. Some decent rolls across the board for all classes. The Hunters seem to get a really good pair of boots. I think the Titans had something similar, but at least all in the mid-60s for all three classes. So if you're looking for any one specific piece of gear, or maybe to just transmog this armor set if you don't know what it looks like. decent. Not my favorite, but something to pick up if you want it. And then over here on the second page, we have a Hawk Moon with Quick Draw, Combat Grip, Alloy Magazine, Extended Barrel. Not the worst roll, not the best roll. So overall, fairly average day for XUR. We got the Exotic Cipher you can pick up. Remember, if you have one, you won't be able to pick it up. And make sure that you at least buy one Exotic Ingram this week. If you can buy all three, I would recommend doing it. Just because Legendary Shards, they're going away. You might as well use them while you have them. Get yourself a free Exotic. That is going to be it for XUR today. Now, on to some maybe more interesting information. If we just run across the tower hanger really quick over to old Saint 14. Trials map this week is the Endless Veil, I believe. And we have the Immortal Adept. Everybody's favorite or most hated weapon for PvP at the moment. I actually find that this is not terrible in PvE as well with the right rolls. But in any case, the submachine gun that kind of took over the PvP space a couple of months ago, maybe it was when it first came around, beginning of the year, I'm not totally sure. But actually, this weapon, I think this is the last time it will be available. Or in the current rotation. I think it's going to be taken out of rotation. So this might be the last time, at least for the foreseeable future, to farm out the Immortal Adept. And if you're somebody who just casually plays Trials on the weekends for maybe a few wins, some bounties, I feel really bad for you this weekend because it is going to be a real sweaty mess in Trials, especially because Endless Veil is not a very big map. It's an old map, fairly close quarters. There's going to be a lot of shotguns. If you're a sniper rifle person, this is not the weekend for you. But hopefully you can get your hands on it. There's still, of course, the normal Immortal. And remember that if you're trying to farm out some casual Trials loot, maybe just for the first few ranks, if you haven't played at all, as you can see, I haven't played at all this season. Remember, you can still head over to Twitch. Any of the Twitch streamers that stream Trials every week usually have the Bungie streamer extension, which is essentially a bounty extension, in-game bounties that you get just by watching a streamer. And those apply for Trials, so you can get some free brownies done and get up to about rank 3 or 4 without actually having to play the game, get yourself some free loot. Even if you're somebody who doesn't play Trials at all or has no interest, might be worth doing. Just have to have the Twitch app open and have your Bungie account linked with your Twitch account. We'll head over to Banshee 44 really quick, though his loot I don't think has really rotated much since my last video, which covered a very unique weapon that Banshee is actually selling. Before we get to Banshee really quick, a couple of things in the Destiny solar system you might want to think about doing. Today we have the Legendary Lost Sector over at Savathun's Throne World. We got the Spelunker Legendary Lost Sector. This one's awarding exotic leg armor, so if you're looking for Star Eater scale, or maybe some Swarmers, or, I don't know, a whole bunch of other good exotics. There's some good boots out there. Now's the day to go and farm them out. Spelunker's not terrible, but also remember, if you've done your due diligence in the past few weeks or the past few days, or if you've been farming Legendary Lost Sectors at all, and you have some of those exotics stored up in your Postmaster, today is the day to take them out if you're looking for exotic leg armor. One other thing that I did want to cover is that this week we were supposed to have the Warden's Law for the Nightfall and GM Nightfall, the Adept version, of course, for the GM Nightfall. That got switched. It was supposed to be Warden's Law in the rotation, but it got switched to the Swarm. However, remember that this is actually the last time you have a chance to farm the Swarm Adept, as it will also be taken out of rotation next season. But I also wanted to give a little bit of a preview of what we're going to have next weekend, or next week, as far as a Nightfall and GM farm, because we are going to have the Devil's Lair strike, which is by far the easiest one in the current Nightfall rotation, and we will be getting Warden's Law. So next week is going to be the week to farm Warden's Law. Probably the best Nightfall farm all season, in my opinion. Certainly the easiest with the most unique weapon, probably the best weapon currently in the meta. We still got Festival of the Lost going on, of course, so good time to farm out Bright Dust. Speaking of Bright Dust, over at the store, we have a unique shader for sale, the Angel's Gleam. This was actually a $10 shader at one point. It is now for sale for Bright Dust, so might be a good time to start farming out some of those Bright Dust bounties that you can get from Festival of the Lost. They're the repeatable bounties, and maybe get yourself a nice, fun, free $10 off shader like that. I also recently got the new ship, which is basically a flying saucer. If you don't know what that looks like, just for my own self-interest, I'll show it off to you because, hey, gotta love a flying saucer ship. I mean, I've never seen one really before, in this game at least, or in real life. If you've seen a flying saucer, let me know in the comments section down below. I'd love to hear about that story. That'll also count as today's hashtag. And Banshee44, kind of a recap of my video yesterday if you saw it, but maybe a couple, well, maybe a few people didn't see it. But just to take you through this stuff, remember all the featured loot should rotate 7 hours after the daily reset timer, so should be 8 p.m. if you're on the East Coast. Do the math. It's the East Coast of the U.S., of course. In that video, I did talk about how I think this weapon is definitely worth a pickup if you're not a hand cannon user. It's really been helping me out a lot in PvP. This Combine action. Maybe not the god roll of god rolls, but certainly something that I find worked really well for me just because of the time payload as well as the stability on it. And sometimes, you know, whatever people say is the god roll doesn't always necessarily work better for the average players. Sometimes there's stuff in there that, you know, it's great at high level play, but if you're just sort of in the middle, just trying to get by in the Crucible, sometimes other perks actually work a little bit better or a little bit more forgiving, and I think time payload is one of those. But if you're more interested in that, check out my last video as I do some gameplay with it, and you can see how it actually works. And that is going to be it for all the information in today's video. Hopefully you found something in this video helpful. Leave any of those things in the comments section down below for the secret hashtag in today's video. But also, if you've watched till this point and you don't know anything else to comment on, if you haven't seen a UFO, please leave a hashtag XUR or a hashtag Lightfall or a hashtag Season of the Witch or a hashtag Festival of the Lost in the comment section down below for another entry, of course, into that next giveaway for this video. And once more, I'm Wilhelm Scream. Hope everybody has a great weekend. And of course, we will see you next time.